is up, my beautiful people? My name is G-Vans and welcome back to my channel. And today it is time to review this new EP by N9ne and Hush entitled Blight. Yes, I am bringing the intro back. And to those of you who are currently saying that it is a very cringy and fucking just corny shit to do in 2021, I got one thing to say to you fuckers. You're right, but I'm still gonna do it. This is a brand new collab EP by N9ne, someone who is highly respected in the rap game, and upcoming rising new Chicago artist Hush. This is the first time I think that he has made a project. If you look at his shit in Apple Music and just in Spotify, he has a bunch of singles, but this is actually Hush's first ever project, and what better way to do it and celebrate it than with a collaboration by Mr. N9ne himself. Now at this point there really isn't much to say about N9ne that hasn't been said before, because he is undoubtedly one of the biggest independent legends that we have in hip-hop right now, and also because this man drops albums yearly. I started my channel back in 2019, I believe, and I've pretty much talked about him all like of these like past 3 years on my channel. So I've definitely said a lot of shit about N9ne, both positive and maybe a few sort of like nitpicking things, because I'm just being a judgmental asshole sometimes. I apologize. All jokes aside, you really can't hate on the all jokes aside, you really can't hate on the dude. I mean, Tech has really made a name for himself. His horror style, like a music that he's done a lot. All these like horror elements that he's included, and just like these very like sinister like sort of vibe that he's had in his past music has really made him an icon in the music industry. And to a lot of people, they consider it some of the best anti-rap music they've ever heard. It's not really like acknowledged that much when it comes to anti-rap music, but to be honest, anti-rap is ironically one of the only like real like last strands of rap left. Like all these other rappers are like kind of doing the same thing, and Tech for a while has been in his own lane. And although I mostly agree with what a lot of people have to say, I mean, I have a few of my own like personal favorite N9ne albums out there, but in my opinion, these past maybe 2 or 3 years of N9ne dropping music, he's been kind of disappointing me lately. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's getting to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to listen to N9ne anymore. Like, it's fucking sad sometimes. Now, I know that back in 2019, I may have said some harsh things about the N9ne album. I felt that while it did have it did have its elements of its great like iconic N9ne moments, like I did say that it just didn't feel like as satisfying as his past projects. But although I did feel that way, I do gotta say I was a bit wrong, because I went back and heard that album, and it's like it's not his best album, but it definitely isn't the worst. And besides, he does include a little bit of like an old school N9ne to him. It was him celebrating, I believe, like 20 years as an artist. And I personally, I thought it was a very decent celebration, especially for someone like Tech, who has been for the most part like being good at being stable and like keeping a good amount of like a good like amount of balance when it comes to his fame and everything. Like he really like did like make a decent like celebration album for his career. However, when I compare last year's Interfere to this however, when I compare last year's Interfere to the N9ne album, I gotta say Interfere was one of the like biggest like all over the place albums ever, especially because N9ne decided to release 2 other, I guess, like separate deluxe like albums from this particular project. That being the More Fear album and the fucking Fear Exodus album. I'm just like, that at this point I'm just like, like how many times can you do this before like it stops getting fucking repetitive? It's like, I don't mean to sound like a negative asshole, but it's like, I personally felt that was very like unnecessary. Honestly, Interfere, just like his other like newer sort of albums, have just been like filled up the ass with a bunch of features that, you know, just sort of makes you forget that it's supposed to be a Tech Nine album. You know, like those albums have slowly like become like albums where it feels that Tech Nine is the feature and you're like mostly like paying attention to all these other artists. You know, it just really didn't like it kind of made me forget that it was supposed to be like a new album by Tech Nine, and it kind of made it hard for me to try and see you know what's pretty much what is a new improvement when it comes to Tech Nine's flow. You know, I didn't even bother hearing, you know, More Fear or Fear Exodus. You know, I just felt that they were a bit unnecessary. You know, I honestly could care less about those two projects. And if you guys think I'm just being biased, it's the same reason why I decided not to even talk about side B of the Music to Be Murdered by album by Eminem. You know, I love Eminem to death, and you know, I usually never give deluxe albums a try because most of the time they don't really contribute well, or like really do the like original outcome of the album justice. You know, like I personally feel that they never do that, but you know, because it was Eminem, I decided, okay, I'll try this once and see if he can change my mind. And to be honest, he didn't. Like, you know, I love Eminem to death. There were maybe 2 or 3 tracks on the side B that I personally like really liked and still go back and hear. But at the same time, in my opinion, I felt that it was very unnecessary to include 15 other tracks to a fucking 21 song album. You know, that I personally thought was already really great and decent. You know, I personally feel that adding like 15 other tracks was just very unnecessary and a waste of a lot of people's time. And you know, that is also one of the main reasons why a lot of people dog on Eminem and clown on him. You know, it's like I'm still wondering why the fuck he did that. But anyways, let's get back to the review. This may not be my favorite Tech Nine album. You know, it definitely isn't my favorite, but to be honest, it's definitely a step in the right direction of what I feel is going to be an exciting new chapter when it comes to Tech Nine's music. Now, admittedly, I found myself enjoying a decent amount of this album. You know, I think this is the first album since the Planet album that Tech Nine dropped back in 2018 that I was really excited to hear a new Tech N9ne album. If you guys have never heard the Planet album, I highly suggest it. It is one of Tech N9ne's like best albums in a long time. You know, I loved every single song on there. You know, it was in one of my top 10 favorite albums of 2018. You know, Tech N9ne definitely fucking snapped, and he like went outside of the fucking box for that one. Like he is just a fucking genius when it comes to shit like that. But on this album, Tech N9ne does truly step outside of the box as he collabs with new upcoming rising artists from Chicago, Hush, as they both create an EDM music mixed with rap music, pretty much. Now, for those of you that know me on a personal level, know that I do not like EDM that much. Like, I will listen to it, you know, like I had my coworker at Chipotle. He was actually my manager before I ended up going to this new job. But over there at Chipotle, like, you know, he really tried getting me into EDM because I told him how I don't really fuck with it that much, and he was like, you know, like he was just playing all this EDM shit to like try and get me into it. But you know, although I don't mind it, it isn't really like my like go-to music. You know, like I personally don't see myself going to a rave. You know, I feel like I would fucking like stand out like a sore thumb, and not in a fucking good way either. But honestly, I didn't mind what Tech and Hush did on this project. You know, I actually really like the style that Tech did to this. You know, that first track, Let Loss Happen, really got me excited, you know, as it portrayed what the rest of the album was going to look like, you know, what the album was going to give you. You know, it definitely like sounded like an album that you can easily like get into, an album that you can easily enjoy, you know, and for the most part, it does have a lot of its catchy tunes. Something else that this album got right was definitely including no features at all, which fucking thank God, because to be honest, I can finally like focus more on Tech N9ne. You know, I can finally like focus my attention on Tech N9ne, and it truly does feel that Tech has found his like sort of new style. You know, I could definitely see him do more shit like this. You know, it truly like sounds like Tech has finally found that spark back, and you know, he finally has found a new style to keep me satisfied for a while, and to hopefully keep a lot of his other fans satisfied as well. You know, especially for those, you know, wondering where Tech has been, you know, what's he going to do next? You know, I guess at this point we should expect the unexpected from Tech N9ne. But honestly, y'all, I personally feel that Hush is the main attraction throughout this whole project. You know, it seems that Tech was definitely trying to give him more of a spotlight. You know, Hush is a very unknown artist. You know, he is new. He is a rising artist. You know, he truly does like, you know, impressed the fuck out of me on this project, and I'm pretty sure he impressed a lot of people as well. Hush not only is a really dope rapper, but he's a very great singer as well. You know, he created a lot of like dope choruses throughout the whole album, especially on the track Where Are You Down. You know, that one is absolutely my favorite track on the album. You know, it's very emotional, it's very sentimental, it's very angelic. You know, he has a very angelic voice. You know, I could definitely see myself going to a rave just to hear this one song, and then I'm fucking out of there because I don't know what else is going on. But yeah, definitely definitely that song like really went well, you know, and it is one of the only like sort of like chill songs that I really liked on here. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Hush was the person responsible for the EDM production value throughout this whole project. You know, I don't want to assume shit, but you know, Hush definitely looks like somebody who is an EDM artist. I mean, look at him. Look at that hair. He fucking looks like an anti-Skrillex. But as much as I really wanted to enjoy this project because there are some very decent songs on here, you know, this project does have a little bit of its flaws. Number one, there were still only 3 songs on here that I didn't really like because as much as I really wanted to give this album a try, as much as I wanted to be open about it, you know, it's pretty much the first sort of like EDM album that I heard all the way through. EDM just isn't my favorite genre, and you know, a lot of these like, you know, like EDM sounds just sort of sounded the same, you know, like I wasn't really like, you know, fucking with it. You know, it's not that all of it was bad, because there were some like really interesting like new sounds that I never heard before that I was really fucking with. But you know, I think it has to grow on me a little bit because I'm still not an EDM fan, and it's the reason why those 3 tracks just weren't really working for me. But I will give the album props for, you know, its effort, because for the most part it is like really like enjoyable and it is pretty catchy to hear. Second of all, this album is extremely short. Like for someone like Tech N9ne, it is extremely short. You know, it is an album that has only 7 tracks and it is about 22 minutes long. And it is very weird, especially for all of you who have been with Tech N9ne since he started out with The Calm Before the Storm. You know, for those of you that have seen Tech N9ne for a long time and as followed his journey, y'all know that this man is known for making like a 20 plus song album, you know, and you know, the albums go from like an hour to maybe an hour and a half. You know, he definitely like includes a lot of like content in his music. You know, he like doesn't leave any details out. You know, he includes every fucking song that he's ever made. You know, Tech N9ne just is the king of long albums. And you know, this album, it was extremely short, probably the shortest project that Tech has ever dropped. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to have a short album, because that's not true at all. You know, I've heard many short albums that have turned out decent, if not amazing. You know, the one I can think of right now is the Yay album by Kanye West. You know, that's probably the shortest album that Kanye has made, and you know, in my opinion, is really extremely fucking good. You know, like after all the backlash he received, he definitely made his comeback. And it's not that Tech didn't make a comeback here, because like I said, I found myself enjoying this a lot more than N9ne and all of the fucking 3 Enter Fear albums combined. But at the same time, you know, it just goes by way too fast. You know, it doesn't really give you a chance to be satisfied at the end, and it doesn't really give you a chance to enjoy the whole project because of how like short and just fast it just fucking finishes, which really does suck, because personally I feel that Tech and Hush make a really great fucking duo. You know, they are definitely a like fucking force to be reckoned with. You know, they are a deadly combination. You know, I can definitely see them, you know, make a bunch of these albums. You know, I would definitely love to hear another project by Hush and Tech N9ne together, because honestly I feel that this is like the anti-rap that we've all been waiting for. Rap with EDM, and then sort of giving a sort of like sinister like touch to it. It's definitely some good fucking music. Like they definitely are a great duo. It just sucks that this album was very very short, and you know it just sort of like doesn't leave me satisfied. I like really really want more. Honestly, my prediction is that Tech is most likely going to sign Hush to Strange Music. I definitely wouldn't be surprised, but if he doesn't, then oh well, I'm wrong. But if he does sign Hush to Strange Music, I am definitely excited to see what Hush is going to contribute to this really really great record label. Tech already did a good thing by signing King Izo, and I definitely do think that he should sign Hush to it, because I would definitely once again would love to hear more of him. What he can contribute as a solo artist. But again, I would definitely love to hear some more collaborations with Tech N9ne and Hush, because they really are a great duo, and I think that they should definitely continue to make music together. But until then, I guess this little short project will do. Like I said, it's not a perfect album. It definitely isn't the best, or I guess my favorite Tech N9ne album. But like I said, it is the first time since 2018's Planet that I've been truly enjoying, and like generally excited to hear a new Tech N9ne album. I think it's a very very fun listen to everybody who is a big rap and EDM fan, especially for those of you that are big Tech N9ne fans. I think this is a really really fun project to listen to, as you can all see that Tech still has a lot of potential. In his 40s, he still has a lot of potential to do something genre bending, and he definitely can 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 really step outside of the box more, and that's what's going to get him a lot more of an attention. But until then, I think that this project is pretty decent, and like I said, I enjoy a decent amount of it, and I guess that's all I can really ask for. I'm thinking I'm gonna give this about a 6 to light 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed my review, and thanks for letting me rant. What did you guys think about this project? Have you heard it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your favorite tracks? What are your least favorite tracks? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear all of y'all's opinions on it. And with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, click that button down below, all that good stuff, and don't forget to stay happy.
It's like I'm living a dream, that's how to reach. I've been cooking like Walter and Jesse B. Kisses, I ain't trying to be a prodigy. Past DV.